and her family is literally digging a grave because they think that Tobiah is gonna die. Because that's what happened to her last 7 men that she tried to marry, is they died. And hi, holy people, welcome to God Nod. My name is Casey, and if you are new here, welcome. I share God Nods of my life, God Nods, God working in my life, and then I also share God Nods of saints and other faith videos. So go ahead and subscribe if you're new to get more videos. Today, I'm going to be sharing a saint God Nod on Saint Raphael. He is amazing. Amazing. So if you want to journey along with me in the story, all of this is found in the Bible, in the book of Tobit. It's only in the Catholic Bibles, so if you don't have a Catholic Bible, you can find it online. But the book of Tobit is absolutely amazing. It's really short, and it's just a beautiful book, probably one of my favorite books. So go ahead and read the book of Tobit in general because it is just really, really beautiful. So it all starts with this young man named Tobiah. He has his father named who is Tobit, and Tobit sends Tobiah on a mission, on this trip. But he asks Tobiah to go find someone to show him the way to the city. And he finds this man named Azariah. Okay, Azariah is really the angel Saint Raphael. He's taken disguise of Azariah. So Tobiah nor Tobit know that Azariah is really an angel. They just see him as a great man who knows the way. So Saint Raphael, or Azariah, is leading Tobiah on this trip while his father is at home. Now his father is blind, and so he leaves his father and his mother and he goes on this trip, and Azariah is leading him in this way. And along in the way, Tobiah goes to the river to wash, and a big fish grabs a hold of his foot. And he starts freaking out and thinking he's gonna die or something. And Azariah is like, it's okay, grab the fish and pull him out and keep the fish. And this is what Saint Raphael tells him. He says in chapter 6 of Tobit, he says, then the angel told him, slit the fish open and take out its gall, heart, and liver and keep them with you, but throw away the other entrails. Its gall, heart, and liver are useful for medicine. And Tobiah listened to him, and he did exactly that. So at this point of the story, I'm thinking Tobiah's probably kind of confused. A fish just tried to kill him, and then Azariah, Saint Raphael, he's like, no, keep the fish, it's going to help you later. And Tobiah listens. So they continue on their journey, and along their journey, they stay at a house, and Tobiah meets Sarah. Now, he falls in love with Sarah, and Sarah's father gives Tobiah his daughter and says, here, you can have her. However, there's a catch. Sarah has already tried marrying 7 different men. Now, it's not because Sarah is bad or anything like that, but because the night of their wedding night, right before they consummate their marriage, a demon comes in and kills her future husband. And so this has happened to her 7 times now. Imagine the hurt and suffering that Sarah has gone through, okay? In the meantime, Sarah has already, she's gone through so much suffering, she doesn't see a point in her life, she doesn't see a purpose in her life, she just wants to die because she's like, nothing's going right for me, all my past 7 men that I've tried to marry have been killed by a demon, and here I am, okay? And then the same with Tobit. Tobit was also suffering from his blindness and didn't see any purpose in his life, and he also made that same prayer, Lord, take me now. I don't see my purpose right now, take me now. And so Sarah and Tobit, so Tobiah's girl that he's loving right now, she wants to die, and then Tobiah's father wants to die. So imagine the atmosphere that Tobiah has been surrounded with right now, right? So Tobiah is scared, I love this woman, and then Sarah's father warns Tobiah, hey, this is what happened, you can have my daughter as your wife, but just know that this has happened in the past. And Tobiah's like, are you kidding me? Oh my goodness, what am I supposed to do? So Tobiah is scared, right? Rightfully so. I mean, you know what I mean? But Saint Raphael tells Tobiah, fear not, the Lord has created this woman for you, and this is where the fish comes in handy. And so this is what Saint Raphael says. He says, take Sarah. I know that tonight she will be given to you as your wife. When you go into the bridal chamber, Take some of the fish's liver and the heart and place them on the embers intended for incense, and an odor will be given off. As soon as the demon smells the odor, it will flee and never again show itself near her. Then when you are about to have intercourse with her, both of you must first get up to pray. Beg the Lord of heaven that mercy and protection be granted to you. Do not be afraid, for she was set apart for you before the world existed. Goodness, how beautiful is that language? And it says, and you will save her, and she will go with you. Okay, so here Raphael is telling Tobiah, don't be afraid, take the fish's liver and heart, burn it, create this incense, and the demon will flee from you. And so that's what Tobiah does. Tobiah trusts in this man's words. Now, Tobiah still doesn't know that this is an angel. Tobiah just sees this man as just a man, and he's trusting in Azariah's words. That's a big step, to be able to trust that this man's words are good and true. The Holy Spirit must have been working in Tobiah to be able to trust in these words of Azariah, Saint Raphael. So Tobiah trusts in Azariah's words, and he's like, all right, I'm going to marry Sarah. I love her. I'm going to marry her. I believe it's the Lord's will, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to trust in the Lord, and I'm not going to fear. So he does so. In the meantime, Sarah's father and her family is literally digging a grave because they think that Tobiah is going to die, because that's what happened to her last 7 men that she tried to marry, is they died. And so the whole family has completely lost their faith and is just digging a grave, okay? But Tobiah is confident in the Lord. So they get married, and that night he does exactly as St. Raphael tells him to. He took the fish's liver and heart from the bag where he had them, and he put them on the embers intended for incense. The odor of the fish repulsed the demon, and it fled to the upper regions of Egypt. Raphael went in pursuit of it, and there bound it hand and foot. Then Raphael returned immediately. I love that. It's in 2 sentences, he burned it for incense, and then Raphael's like, all right, taking the demon and bounding it hand and foot, and then he just came back, just like that, done. Okay. And then Sarah's parents went to check on them and found that he was still alive, and they were like, how the heck did this happen? So here, Raphael, let's see the point of this here. Raphael, something bad happened to Tobiah in the river. He was suffering. He thought he was going to die from this fish. And Raphael's like, no, you're actually going to take this fish, something that was meant to harm you, and you're going to turn it into good. We're going to use this to help save your future wife and to eventually help save your father. Because later on in the story, Tobiah comes back with his wife, and they come to his father, and Raphael tells Tobiah to put the gall of the fish on his father's eyes, and he does so. He is able to see again. And so this fish that was meant to harm him, Raphael helped him use this thing that was meant to harm him, and he turned it into good to help cure his father's blindness and to help save his future wife. This is what our angels do for us. This is what Saint Raphael did for Tobiah on his travels. He helped save his wife from demons, and he helped cure his father's blindness. And after the saving of Sarah from the demons and the curing of Tobiah's father's blindness, they still don't know that Raphael is an angel. But then Raphael, he identifies himself. He tells them, this is what he says. He says in chapter 12 of Tobit, he says, I shall now tell you the whole truth and conceal nothing at all from you. I have already said to you, a king's secret should be kept secret, but one must declare the works of God with due honor. Now when you, Tobit, and Sarah prayed, it was I who presented the record of your prayer before the glory of the Lord. And likewise, whenever you used to bury the dead, when you did not hesitate to get up and leave your dinner in order to go bury that dead man, I was sent to you to put you to the test. At the same time, however, God sent me to heal you and your daughter-in-law Sarah. I am Raphael, one of the 7 angels who stand and serve before the glory of the Lord. What's important here is to see that the Lord heard Tobit's and Sarah's prayers. Tobit and Sarah were in great suffering. They both wanted to die because of their suffering, and Raphael was the one who heard their prayers and presented them before God, our Heavenly Father. And then God sent Raphael to go and heal them both. to bring them to God. And now they know it was an angel. And now Tobiah knows that it was really St. Raphael who was guiding him this whole way. I think there's a lot we can pull from this story. I want to encourage you to go read the whole book of Tobit, because there's a lot there that is just so beautiful. But also to know that like we have guardian angels. There are archangels like St. Gabriel and St. Raphael, and they present our prayers before the Lord. And so start to grow a relationship with your guardian angel. Ask our archangels to pray for you. They are in God's work. God sends them on missions and helps carry out our plans. And second of all, like especially in our times right now when life is hard and there's a lot of suffering going on, to remember the story, because Tobiah thought in this river that he was going to die from this fish. And Tobit wanted to die because he was in this blindness. And Sarah wanted to die because I mean, she just tried getting married 7 times, and these demons killed her husband after every single time. And they were all in a state of misery and suffering. But that's when St. Raphael came in and took their suffering, literally took the suffering that was meant to harm Tobiah and turned it to be the weapon to save Tobit and Sarah. Turned their entire lives around. And so what I want to encourage you from this story and from St. Raphael is that perhaps maybe the suffering of our time right now is really meant to save us, is really meant to purify us. And we must trust that God is with us. God is not leaving us orphaned, that God is able to turn the greatest evil, the greatest of all sufferings, into the greatest good. Jesus died on the cross for us. God became incarnate to die for you. That is the worst possible thing that could have happened, and then he resurrected. So like God brought the greatest good from the greatest evil. And God can do the same thing in your life. So if anything, ask St. Raphael for his prayers. Ask your guardian angel for your prayers. And trust in the Lord that whatever suffering you're going through, that the Lord can turn it into good. Our greatest weapons right now is prayer. We need prayer. We need to pray. This is our weapon. We need to trust that God is with us. And because the devil is real, the devil wants your soul. And he's going to do this through temptations of sin. He wants you to sin. He wants you to be in a state of misery right now. He wants you to be divided. He wants you to feel lonely and miserable. So your weapon has to be prayer. This is what's going to bring you to the Lord. And the Lord is going to stomp on the devil. Mother Mary is going to stomp on the devil's face and bring you to Christ. The devil wants your soul. Demons are around us, trying to tempt us into sin. And we need to know this, and we need to know that this is a real thing. Like, our souls are at stake right now. And we have to fight. We have to fight through prayer. And so, may all the angels and saints, may we all pray for each other. May we lift each other up. And I want to thank Michael, my friend Michael, for requesting to do a God Nod on St. Raphael. So thank you, Michael. And if anyone else has a saint that you're like, hey, I want a video on this saint, let me know in the comments. I love saints and I love hearing their stories. But yeah, go ahead, read the book of Tobit, pray to your guardian angel, pray for the Lord to give you the grace to pray, to trust in him, to believe in him. God bless.